I've always heard this, अरे अंजुम अब कोचिंग बड़ी डिफरेंट है, अब वो सारा टाइम नहीं है. ऐसा है क्या?
बिल्कुल नहीं है.
क्या नहीं
बिल्कुल
है?
नहीं
वो
है.
टाइम नहीं है या ऐसा गलत थॉट है ये?
नहीं, गलत थॉट है.
करेक्ट.
थॉट प्रोसेस गलत है.
सबसे अच्छी बात क्या होती है ना, जितने लोगों से मैं बात करती हूँ, कि एक तो मैं उनको बहुत अच्छे से जानती हूँ और दूसरा वो मुझे बहुत अच्छे से जानते हैं. ये दोनों चीज़ें बहुत ज़रूरी होती हैं, बिकॉज कॉन्वर्सेशन करने के लिए मुझे हमेशा लगता है उनसे सबसे ज़्यादा अच्छी बात होती है जहाँ कोई बैगेज नहीं होता. और आपसे बात करने में कुछ ऐसा सही कुछ बैगेज है.
द बेस्ट पार्ट ये है कि कॉमन प्लेटफॉर्म है कि सब्जेक्ट है क्रिकेट है, तो बैगेज इसमें हो ही नहीं सकता है.
बैगेज हो ही नहीं सकता है, बिल्कुल. और सबसे अच्छी बात है कि वो भी पता है कि जब आज जहाँ हैं या जहाँ से शुरू हुए हैं, वो भी पता है कि कहाँ से शुरू हुए, पूरी जर्नी पता है. सो देयर इज लाइक कनेक्ट, जिसे हम कहते हैं, हैज बीन एब्सोल्युटली स्पेशल.
आपको याद है पहली बार हम कहाँ पे मिले?
ये मुझे पता था स्पेशल क्वेश्चन आने वाला है, तो पहले आप मुझसे सवाल पूछ सकते हो. आप भी पूछ सकते हो.
आपको याद है आपको मैंने क्या गिफ्ट किया था?
मेरे को याद है जवाहरलाल नेहरू स्टेडियम, आप बिशन सर के साथ जब आप इंडिया खेल रहे थे, आप उनके पास आए थे बॉलिंग इन्हांस करने के लिए. सुनील, आई थिंक आप थे तब, अंगद था वहाँ पर, एंड आई थिंक राहुल सांघवी वाज आल्सो देयर. एंड आपने मुझे बॉलिंग करी थी और मुझे याद है बिशन सर ने कहा फायर अप, यू विल बैट ऑन द सेंटर विकेट. तो मैंने कहा जी पैड पहन के 3 लेफ्ट हैंड से तो फेस किया, अच्छा खेला, मैंने जितना हो पाया आपकी अच्छी बॉलिंग अगेंस्ट. और उसके बाद आपने ऐसे ग्लव्स उतारे वैम्पायर के और वो मुझे दिए और उस पर लिखा था SJ, राइट?
Absolutely perfect.
Correct.
I mean, that is something which, you see someone who is stepping up, climbing the ladder, always feels good about, knowing those individuals and hunger individuals, I would say.
I think that was somewhere around 97, 98 के आसपास की बात थी, करेक्ट. एंड 97, 98 के आसपास की बात थी, बिकॉज दैट वाज माय फर्स्ट पेयर ऑफ वैम्पायर ग्लव्स. मैं बीडीएम से खेलती थी,
मुझे याद है अभी भी,
है ना?
बीडीएम, आपके पास बीडीएम डायनामिक पावर बैट भी था.
करेक्ट. मैं बीडीएम से खेलती थी और मेरे को जब आपने वो ग्लव्स दिए तो इतना परफेक्ट फिट हुआ. मैंने सोचा यार आपका हाथ तो बड़ा होगा, पर वो ऐसे बैठा. फिर मैंने वो ग्लव्स, इनफैक्ट उसके बाद मैं सोमी सर से मिली, सोमी कोहली सर जो ऑफकोर्स वैम्पायर कंपनी के ओनर हैं, एंड हिज ब्रदर्स आर आल्सो देयर. फिर उनसे मिली और मैंने कहा सर ये तो ग्लव्स ले, मैं तनु पहचानदा, मैं भेजना तनु. तो फिर सर ने मुझे वो ग्लव्स भेजे और मैंने जब बीडीएम वाले सर को दिखाए, तब उस समय मिस्टर सुनील महाजन, तो कहते लेदर भी डिफरेंट है. तो मैंने कहा सर ये वाले ग्लव्स चाहिए मुझे. बट फ्रॉम दैट डे ऑनवर्ड्स टिल माई लास्ट गेम, I've always batted with the vampire gloves, or even if I've changed while batting, I've always had that pair of gloves with me. पता last तक. I think
they have the best. They get the best leather, and it's a soft. It fits your fingers. That's the best part.
और इतना इम्पोर्टेंट रहता है ना, वो विकेट कीपर्स को हम देखते हैं ग्लव्स, लेकिन बैटिंग के लिए वो ऐसे मखमल जैसा ऐसे आके बैठता है बैट के ऊपर ग्रिप करने के लिए. तो वो मुझे याद है आपका पहला गिफ्ट, एंड आई वाज लाइक वाओ. फिर उसके ऊपर इनिशियल्स मेड लाइक, सो फिर मैंने कहा अच्छा ये इनिशियल्स लगे हैं तो मतलब किट बैग में कितने सारे होंगे ना, या और भी किसी के पास होंगे वो ब्लैक. तो मैं कहा सर मुझे वो ब्लैक एंड रेड वाला ही चाहिए, कोई और कलर नहीं चाहिए.
That was my favorite color.
मैंने लास्ट तक उस पर रखा है. मैंने अभी इनफैक्ट बहुत रिसेंटली पुराना किट बैग निकाला, उसके अंदर वो सारे ग्लव्स थे. तो लाइक सब निकले. मैंने कहा ये मेरा पहला ग्लव्स था. you always keep some stuff.
You'll always relish that treasure.
Absolutely. आपने तो इतना सारा देखा. I mean, of course, so many years of. Let's start from where you are today, of course, as a broadcaster and as a coach presently, as we say, because हम लीन नहीं करेंगे किसी तरफ, अभी दोनों चीज़ें कर रहे हो. But because आप इतना जर्नी कर आए हो, what is still so close to you?
I think coaching.
Okay, why is that?
Because that's the only where you're closer to the game, in my view. Because you start enjoying coaching as if you're doing those things, as if you're bowling or batting. Because you get into a player's, head that okay, this is the way to approach towards the game, or maybe you need to be smarter, you outclass the batsman. So that is where I look at coaching is closer to the game, not even umpiring, I would say.
Because आपके पास ऑप्शन थी, since obviously you've come from the nursery of Karnataka cricket, and उस समय वेंकी, आप, जावगल, राहुल, एवरीवन, लाइक कर्नाटका से 4 ऐसे स्टॉलवर्ड्स खेलते थे इंडियन टीम के लिए. ऐसा होता था जस्ट गो टू कर्नाटका एंड यू कैन प्ले फॉर इंडिया, बट ऐसा नहीं था. सो यू ऑलवेज हैड दैट ऑप्शन. पर एज अ क्रिकेटर हमेशा बोलते हैं ना, व्हाट कम्स नेचुरली टू यू. सो पीपल से, इज दिस अ नेचुरल प्रोग्रेशन टू कोचिंग? इज दैट योर नेचुरल प्रोग्रेशन?
That's what my natural progression towards the game. Because in fact, when I announced my retirement, the board secretary called. I said, Sunil, why don't you get into umpiring? Probably you will fast track yourself and you can be an international umpire because of your work ethics, your sincerity towards the game. You can be a good umpire. I told Professor Shetty sir, said, sir, I know that it's there, but my love is coaching. I want to get into coaching.
तो जब आप देखते हो, लाइक ऑफ कोर्स you've come, Bishan Singh Bedi has been your coach, and of course domestic coaches have been there. पर जो हम वो generation of coaches के साथ काम कर आए हैं जहाँ they were very strict with timings, discipline in your diet and various other ways how you play the game. From that nursery to where you played the game to now where you are actually coaching. I've always heard this, अरे अंजुम अब कोचिंग बड़ी डिफरेंट है, अब वो सारा टाइम नहीं है. ऐसा है क्या?
बिल्कुल नहीं है.
क्या नहीं
बिल्कुल
है?
नहीं
वो
है.
टाइम नहीं है या ऐसा गलत थॉट है ये?
नहीं, गलत थॉट है.
करेक्ट.
थॉट प्रोसेस गलत है. डिसिप्लिन आज की तारीख में सेम डिसिप्लिन है.
राइट.
स्किल आज की तारीख में सेम स्किल है. तो क्या चेंज हुआ है? क्या आपका माइंडसेट चेंज हुआ है?
राइट. उस समय सर बोलते थे जाओ 10 राउंड भाग के आ जाओ, आज तो नहीं बोलता होगा ये.
नहीं, आज नहीं बोलेगा 10. सर का वैल्यू वाज डिफरेंट एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. सर वांटेड, of course, if I have to be in practical way or a science way, if I have to say that Bishan sir is the one person where I have enjoyed learning the game and learning the art of spin bowling. I came to Bishan sir to learn the art of spin bowling, to understand the nuances of spin bowling at international cricket. Every time I came across to sir in Delhi, I always had so many questions with sir. I mean, those are the questions I started relating and sharing what sir's philosophy was towards the game. That has inculcated in me in my coaching philosophy, which is again discipline, sincerity, and skill.
Okay.
That's it. There's no compromise on these things.
And you see that in this present generation of cricketers or the upcoming generation of cricketers?
See, again, it is because the only one format has been introduced
to them.
Because today's generation, they want to play IPL. Fair enough. Everyone needs to play IPL. Everyone wants to play IPL. But internally, they don't realize if you play the toughest part, which is Test cricket, you can play any format of the game.
Yes. I believe so. Coming from you is like so good.
It is. You ask me, Robin Uthappa played so many ODIs, so many T20s. Did he play Test cricket? No. Why? Manish Pandey didn't play Test cricket. Why? There are plenty of players who have worn the Indian cap of T20 and ODI, but they are not Test cricketers. I feel very proudly that I am a Test cricketer.
Yeah.
That's the hardest game or a skill or a challenge, test of character, patience, whatever you say for that.
Yeah.
If you play that, if you go through that grind, ODI and T20 is easy. There is a satisfaction of playing Test cricket, scoring 100 or taking a 5-wicket haul in a Test match where you are taking the team to a success. Whereas T20, you compromise on the skill. You end result compromise on here and there, bits and pieces, but Test cricket you cannot compromise.
Because everything gets tested.
Yeah, absolutely.
The biggest is your temperament.
That is the different test of skill, character, patience, temperament, tactical, everything.
But now, is there a defined off season that we can say that we have to focus only on fitness? Because players are top-notch players who are there required to play first-class cricket and till the IPL and are in line to play international cricket. They have to remain fit, obviously.
No, but Anjum, if you look at, there'll always be a window because of our NCA, how they have functioned, the system, the facilities in NCA has built over a period of time since 2000 onwards, and now we are 23 years.
Yeah.
You will get a window of training block for 2 weeks for each and every player, because we have so many pool of players at a given point of time. I'm sure you have seen England, when Indian team was playing, we played in Sri Lanka also.
Yes, we played both
the sides simultaneously. So we have 50 players, and we had another 50 waiting in the wings.
Correct.
So in that way, you will always get a training block. It's again, you drive it.
Right.
You want to be fit, you drive it. You can say, go to the captain, go to the head coach, okay, I need a 2-week training block, I need to get, because a main series is coming, something like WTC now.
No, you're right, because I was recently interacting with Harman, and she was like, "Nahi Didi, I have to leave one of these franchise cricket tournaments because I want to focus on my fitness." So, even players are aware of that. So I completely understand where the player comes from. Exactly, it is driven. But when you have gone around the world, you've traveled to the US, you've been with the Bangladesh team, you've been with Oman. It's so many teams since the time you quit cricket. How easy or difficult is it to adapt to every team? Or maybe the cricketing language is very simple.
No, the connect is simple. It's very simple. One word. It's a bat and ball. You connect with the game. It's only you try and get to the language barrier. It's in cricket coaching is about a language barrier.
Okay.
And I have tried to manage the language barrier wherever I have gone. Even in India also, I have coached different teams and understood their language. I used to practice at least anything between 5 to 10 words so that a player can feel more comfortable in their own language wherever I've done. Nice. Hyderabad, Jammu Kashmir, Assam, UP. Of course, UP is Hindi anyways. But knowing them personally by names, they'll have more love, they'll give more to you. That's what I looked at it. My coaching philosophy is very simple. You come to the ground, you practice. You don't come to the ground, no problem. But when you come to the ground, I want that seriousness, commitment.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, don't come. I am absolutely happy not coming also.
What is again the difference when you're coaching a domestic side to an international side? You've done both, and now you've had a stint with a franchise team as well. Is there still too much of difference?
There's not much difference. Again, how you approach. See, again, in domestic cricket, you might have to remind them more often. Whereas in international side, they know their roles. It's a subtle reminders for them. It's again IPL franchisee. I had a great experience with Kings. This year. I'm thankful to the management and captain. Of course, Shikhar was leading from the front, and he made comfortable everyone, the coaches and everyone. So the connect with players and subtle communication, they all know that what to do. Okay. It's only I was working with them the tactical part and the temperamental part. They had the technique. That's the reason they are representing me in the franchise. True. Those are the two areas I keep on stressing. For any bowler, you need to be more tactical. You need to be more temperamental. Technique to aapke paas hai.
Correct.
It's a 3T formula.
Between T20, one-day cricket and Test cricket, which is the format that you feel is, for you personally, you've enjoyed playing and you've enjoyed working, or you would want to go and work for?
I think Test cricket.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because it's the biggest challenge.
It's the biggest challenge. You always can come back and have multiple spells as a bowler. As a batsman, you have another second innings.
Right.
And I would say, for a bowler, we have 6 opportunities to take a batsman out. 6 times.
I agree. 6 balls.
6 balls, right? And at the same time, batsman has every opportunity to target us.
Correct.
That's the challenge. That's the beauty of this Test cricket.
And being an all-rounder, because obviously you have been an all-rounder, helps because you can understand the psyche of a bowler and a batter. It helps. See, how much?
That's the reason most of the bowlers, when I start analyzing the batsman, I say, okay, if he plays 2 balls, I know that which shot is coming. Then suddenly the bowlers are asking, sir, how can you know that? I said, this is what I have understood.
Correct.
So getting into their mind is a practical way I'm trying to share the knowledge. which is not many coaches would judge it or share it also.
हाँ, बिकॉज प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस बताना बहुत ज़रूरी है. बट सो व्हेन यू ऑफ कोर्स कोचिंग आपने किया, बट बीच में एक सिलेक्टर का स्टिंट भी आया था, नेशनल सिलेक्टर का स्टिंट. वाज इट अ वेरी कॉन्शियस थिंग दैट यू वांटेड टू डू, और यू ऑलवेज थॉट कि चलो कभी ना कभी कोई होता ना एक और चीज़ करके देखते हैं. इट्स नॉट कि सिलेक्टर का अपॉर्चुनिटी मोस्ट ऑफ द क्रिकेटर्स ऑलवेज गेट, वेदर इट्स फॉर द डोमेस्टिक साइड और वेदर इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट. So कभी आपने सोचा था fine, it's another opportunity, let me see what it is and how is it?
In fact, it was an honor to be part of the selection committee, chair the selection committee and then work as a selector as well. It was as good as you are representing the country.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
You will leave. I left franchise cricket for that. I got an opportunity to wear Indian colors, and you are trying to contribute to the Indian colors in all three formats.
Yeah.
You had the passion of identifying players, you have identifying the talent, creating a pool of players, interacting with them, sharing their knowledge to them, looking very closely in NCA, some of the players, some of the young guns. I mean, it was exciting for me, and whatever the best possible, the way I approach to coaching, I approach the similar way to the selection as well.
Looking at the future कि कौन सा कहाँ खेल सकता है, क्या value add कर सकता है.
I mean, if you look at some of the names which during our tenure, someone like Shreyas Iyer, someone like Surya Kumar Yadav, Prasidh Krishna, Umran Malik, Kuldeep Sen, all these talent has come out.
Sometimes when you look at selection, I mean, obviously we're looking at the present as a selector, you're looking at the present and you're looking at the future. But do you also feel कि, it's never that easy or that simple, because you have to balance things out. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि जो present खेल रहा है अगर वो फॉर्म में नहीं है तो उसको थैंक यू कर दो, किसी और को ले आओ. ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता ना. And how much does that influence you being a player? You've been a coach, you know what you're doing, and you know obviously the target is to make India win. वो बैलेंस करना, is it that easy?
It's not easy, but at times you have to be a little harsh. I would say not little harsh, you have to be more practical way in communicating to the player. I'll share a simple example. When Ishant was injured the 2020 Australian tour after the IPL, he came back to India. I've seen very closely in NCA. He felt that he's fit.
Okay.
But looking at him, I knew that internally he wasn't fit. So clearly we told him, I said, look Ishan, you're not going to be fit, you're not going to get picked. And after the selection, I called him, told him the reason for him to get fit, because England was coming home to play the home series. That is one way. Same thing like someone like Rishabh Pant. I love that talent. The reason he was dropped in ODI and T20 in the Australian tour was he was overweight. Clearly communicated to him. I said, Rishabh, look, the reason why you were dropped was overweight. He promised, he said only one thing, Sunil sir, I will not say I'll come back very strong. I love him. I love him to the core, because he doesn't need to prove me or anyone anything. He said, sir, ये मेरा फाइट है, मेरा अंदर का फाइट है. एंड रेस्ट इज हिस्ट्री. टेस्ट क्रिकेट, व्हाट ही हैज डन, वी हैव वन द सीरीज.
जब आपका टेन्योर खत्म हुआ सिलेक्शन से, ऑफ कोर्स अब आप ऑब्वियसली सिलेक्टर नहीं हो, लेकिन व्हेन यू सी दैट सम प्लेयर्स लाइक दिस, लाइक चेतन साकरिया, यू बैक, प्रसिद्ध ऑफ कोर्स आजकल इंजर्ड है, लेकिन आई एम श्योर विल कम बैक स्ट्रॉन्गर, और वो सक्सेसफुल नहीं हुए, डू यू एवर फील ओ कुछ मिस हो गया, कुछ मैं बेटर कर सकता था?
No, I don't think so, because see, once you wear a cap of it, you know that you have done, according to you have done the right thing. You forget it, you move away, let someone else come and do it, but let someone else come and back that talent. That is something I will look at it.
True.
See, someone like Kuldeep, Kuldeep was dropped from the Indian team. I said only one thing to Kuldeep, I said, don't worry, come to Bangalore, you come to NCA, we'll work. And you see Kuldeep now, there is a different 2.0 from Kuldeep.
I agree. I saw him in the test match.
Because the reason is he has inculcated a front arm, arm speed, revolutions on the ball, shorter delivery stride. That's it. That's all. That's all.
हे भैया दैट्स ऑल इतना आसान नहीं है ना, शॉर्टर डिलीवरी स्ट्राइड मतलब मेरा पैर इतना जाता है अब इतना जाएगा, डिलीवरी स्ट्राइड में इतना आसान थोड़ी है इसको करने के लिए.
So that is something I enjoy doing it because I'm so thankful to Bishan sir that these are the things which sir has inculcated in me. The knowledge shared by my mentor, it's going down to someone else. Yes. That's a way of beauty of a passion in coaching.
I completely agree because वो legacy कहते हैं ना, we can just carry the legacy forward. The coaches, the guidance that we've received, if we can थोड़ा सा भी आगे generation को दे देंगे और वो use कर लेंगे.
यूज करना चाहिए.
करना चाहिए. कहाँ से आ रहा है?
हाँ.
पर आपका भी तो एक इतना अच्छा legacy ना, आप जब खेलते थे जैसे मैं पहले बोल रही थी, राहुल द्राविड, वेंकटेश प्रसाद, जावगल श्रीनाथ, आप खुद, and then Robin, Manish Pandey, all in the pipeline. What was that special thing about Karnataka? It cannot be just a face. Just आजकल हम कहते हैं smaller cities, towns आते हैं. It cannot be just a face. Karnataka has always been top notch in getting very good, skillful players. How has that happened?
I think largely to the we have to give credit to the Karnataka State Cricket Association because of the facilities what they have given to the players. Then back in the 90s, back in the early 2000 and even now also we have seen players the next generation, Vinay Kumar, Mithun, Arvind, Karun Nair, KL, Mayank. There is so much talent. The reason is for us KSA is as a temple for us. Every time when a cricketer walks in there is a practice facility is ready for him.
Yeah.
And largely we have to give credit to the administrators with the way they have given us the facilities.
पर जब आप आज देखते हो, Rahul of course coach of the Indian team, Anil bhai is at different levels. You're obviously contributing at different levels and all contributing towards Indian cricket. Do you ever sit back and relax and chill? अरे याद है जब हम इकट्ठा किट बैग पैक करके एक ही स्टेट से गए थे कैंप के लिए, एक ही स्टेट से इंडिया खेलने गए थे. Do you ever share these memories?
It did happen. So in a Sri Lankan series, Srinath was doing match referee and Rahul was head coach and I was chairing the committee, and we all got into the ground and we were looking at each other. I said last time when we saw together, all three of us
were in track pants and Indian
shorts and a kit bag.
और वो moment कैसे?
It is unbelievable moment. I think somewhere it's there in my phone. I'll share that video clip for you. And we are all three of us standing in a triangle shape and looking at each other.
We don't know where to begin from because it's like 30-35 years of history, memories in that triangle, and now everyone doing their own bit.
It's a great feeling. That's why this game has given so much to everyone.
Yeah.
Not only to cricketers, and it has grown. The best part of this lovely sport is I have enjoyed playing, I've enjoyed coaching, I've enjoyed broadcasting, I've enjoyed the franchisee cricket, made many friends across the globe. Everyone wants to do well for this game. That is something which I enjoy doing it.
Have you ever thought of coaching a women's team, be it a state or an Indian team?